So now we're integrated with Stripe and we want to put that integration to use. So what we're going to do is go to the Invoices tab. If you're integrated with Stripe, you should see something like this screen. There might be some more estimates on the screen depending on how many you've received so far. If you haven't integrated with Stripe yet, you'll see a prompt telling you to do so. So what we can do is click on one of our estimates here. Right now, I only have the one estimate from Johnny Jaros here. He typed in this email. I used mine as an example. And his address in New York. So I'm going to click on that estimate. And we're going to type in a service that we provided to him. We're going to break down this cleaning cost. Give a service, a description, and a cost. So we'll say base cleaning. That doesn't really need a description. And we'll say, just for argument's sake, that was $150. I'll click the add button. And if you want to check, you want to make sure that it adds up to somewhere around here, because this is what you estimated them in the first place with your estimate tool. So when they ran through the estimate tool, Johnny got something around $290 to $326. So you want to keep the total in that range. Now, maybe we can throw in some other services. We'll break it down further so that it adds up into that range. So say I did window washing on this house. I'm going to type in window washing and say this was an add-on. The cost is in addition to the base price. Some description. Yours is going to be different. You probably want to be friendly with this because this will show up on their PDF. And let's say the cost of that service was another $100. I'm just making up numbers here. And then we'll say mopping. I don't know. Come up with something. The kitchen was extra dirty. Spelled that wrong. So I upcharged by $50. And then cost of service, $50. So see, now it's added up to $300, and that's in our range here. If you wanted to, you could check out the estimate PDF and the calculation PDF. You could see sort of how it broke down when you gave them the estimate. Now, they don't see this calculation PDF. They only see the final estimate cost in the estimate PDF. Calculation PDF is just for your records. So I might type a message here. Usually you want to be friendly with this, but I'm just going to type in, "Hi there, Johnny. Here is your invoice." And click Create Invoice. Now you'll see the screen kind of moved around a little bit. Now just to backtrack here, I'll show you what it did. We were here earlier. It clicked on View Invoices for us. So if I click that, this will open. Each of these is a drop-down, so you can open and close the unpaid invoices here drop-down. And there's a drop-down for this invoice in particular. It just did that for us, but if you want to get to a specific invoice, you can always click these buttons yourself and say, look at recurring invoices. I don't have any right now, but if I did, they'd show up here. So if we go back to Johnny's unpaid invoice here, we'll see the breakdown is here in this little table. We have his contact information, when the invoice was issued. We scroll down and we can download a PDF. See, it just showed up down here. If I open this, this is what our PDF looks like. So it tells us the date that it was issued. You see the invoice from Jaden's cleaning service. And you see the customer's information, the company information. There's usually going to be more here, but I don't have any company information set up yet. That's going to be in a later video. And then our breakdown of the cleaning and our message at the bottom. So right now, it's unpaid. So what we're going to do is charge him. You can also click this email button here. Fill out this, before we charge him, you can fill out this email here. Just something of note, in these words in all uppercase, they're over here at the right. It tells you that it'll be replacing the customer's information in there. So you might want to create some sort of template for yourself that you can copy and paste into here. Where it'll say, dear name, it'll replace name with Johnny Jaros in this case. It'll replace address with 123 Main Street. But this way, if you have yourself a sort of template that you can paste in here, then it'll work for everybody. When you go create a invoice for John Smith, it'll automatically put John Smith's email and his name and address in there for you instead of Johnny Jaros. So it's just a helpful little convenience thing. We're going to type out this email and click send email, and it'll send one to Johnny. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to exit out of there, and down here we can charge him. So we get to select if we want this to be a recurring invoice or just a one-time invoice. We'll select recurring for now. If you don't select recurring, then these fields down here don't really do anything. But if you do select recurring, you're going to decide how often they're going to be charged. So maybe you want them to be charged every 2 weeks. So you could do 14 days, or you could do 2 weeks. And you also get the month option too. So then we're going to go down here and type in his credit card number. Now I have a sample card filled out here. Obviously this won't work in real life. I'm going to click the charge button. And it might take a second, but there he is. Now he's under recurring invoices because we created a recurring invoice. So now he's under here. We still see the same breakdown. We see his same contact information. And if we scroll down, there's our download and email buttons. However, now it says he charges every 2 weeks. And we can open Stripe in a new window. So we integrated with Stripe earlier. And now we have our account set up. We can click this button. And there we go. So it'll have his email here. The plan that he's on, created a custom plan for him. There's his name, his email again. This is his customer ID in Stripe. So that's how Stripe refers to him. So if you want to create a new plan or something, you can come into here and you can add a new credit card. Say his credit card changes. Maybe you want to add a new subscription. But this subscription is going to renew every 2 weeks now for $300. Remember, that was the total of our charge. So now Stripe is taking care of the payment for us. And we can just go take our money out of Stripe and into our bank account now. So CompassWave hasn't messed with your money. All they did is charge Johnny on your behalf. So now if we go back to CompassWave, like I said, you can still download and email the invoice. You can also cancel the subscription. I'm going to click cancel here. Notice it takes him out of recurring invoices, and now he's under canceled recurring invoices. Now I was messing around with this earlier, so we actually have another one down here. This is the one here. So this is the breakdown we had. You can still download the invoice. See, we can still download it. However, now it says that this invoice was canceled on August 29th. So no further payments are scheduled. No balances due. Now this message here will update with the status of the invoice. So you want to make sure that you download your invoice at the appropriate time. We go back to CompassWave, and it says something similar down here. If you want to charge a customer again, you can go through the process again. Just refresh the page, or up here under the new invoice dropdown, we can create a new invoice for Johnny. So as we start getting more estimates, this will become a longer list. Right now we only have the one, but it'll start filling up the screen and even become scrollable, hopefully once you get that much. So now if we go under dashboard, now you'll see my monthly revenue. There was $300 for my last estimate and $300 for the one we did right now. So that adds up, and we start to see revenue coming in through CompassWave. So now you can track in real time how much you're making through CompassWave. It's a very powerful tool to help you to keep track of everything relating to your customers in one place. So now that we've discussed invoicing, I'm going to show you a bit about quoting your customers.